My name is Ian Walsh. I'm with Hard Money Bankers. Today, the Moment Money Matters is actually, this is an announcement more so than it is any kind of normal series. And I'm with a familiar face to the videos we've done before. Well, actually, two familiar faces. Gaurav Gambhir of KW Philadlephia, Keller Williams Philadelphia. Gaurav, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And the special guest today, who has also been on a video. Actually, we had done a webcam video together.
Correct.
Most people that have seen this know who you are, period. Like, they're going to know your face. They're going to know about you. Chris Summers. And most people are probably saying, why is Chris Summers in a video with Ian and Gaurav? So I'm going to just kind of lead in and let you guys chat, because you guys know each other very well at this point. And Chris Summers has decided to join and partner with KW Philadlephia. So the Summers team will be part of the Keller Williams family. And I think that I know that news is huge. There's only so many names in this city that you know, people know, you know, your Alan Doms, your Mike McCanns, your Chris Summers. Like, these are the names that come up and you go, you know, they're staying where they are. They're staying put. And you decide to make a change in your life and decide to come over to Keller Williams. That is a huge move in this city. How did this come about, guys? Like, why? Why did you guys decide to join up and be where we are right now?
You want me to go first?
You go first, sir.
Well, first, Ian, thank you for those compliments. It's nice to be, put in, in the same category as those guys' names. Maybe I still have some more work to do to kind of, to continue that. But no, like, the real estate market, our local market, there's lots of things happening. There's lots of things changing, on a yearly basis, quarterly basis. And for myself and my team, nothing negative about where we were before. But more kind of looking, to the future, in terms of, maybe what's the best fit, not as much for Chris Summers, but for the Summers team and all the agents on our team and the people that we work with. We kind of hit a point where we needed to do something. So what we did is, like, we met with people, and there's a lot of great people, a lot of great offices, a lot of great brokers out there. But ultimately, in terms of where we decided to work with Gaurav and Keller Williams Philadelphia, it was the opportunity with their market center, the agents that are currently there, the offices that are currently, in place, and, myself and the agents really just like, the culture and the energy involved in a new office, coming up, in Fishtown and Frankfurt Avenue. A lot of different reasons, Ian, but, mainly as a result, we're really looking forward not to just 2019, but, for many years to come, with a partnership.
That must be, and so there has to be, like you kind of mentioned in there, but there's got to be a chemistry, right? So there's one thing to just kind of join two forces, and there's another that you guys recognize you're going to be living in the same business space, in the same business house, and you decided that after all the brokers and people that you had met with, because you're smart about what you do, you could have gone anywhere, you decided to be here. What was the chemistry? I know, Gaurav, I had actually asked you, and you said, hey, Chris and I just really clicked. That was something you had originally said. So if you want to elaborate on, like, why this is a good fit for what's going on here on maybe your perspective.
Absolutely. First of all, welcome to the family.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Maybe one of these two? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
I'm learning this from him. When I met Chris, the idea was just to have an understanding of what he was planning to do in the future. I made a big move with my team about a year and a half ago. And I had all my reasons why I had done that. I was an owner of a company, and he's an owner of the company. There's a large team. We have a large team. We had a lot of things similar to each other. So we brainstormed some of the ideas, what we were thinking from our perspective. And I think the team environment and the culture matters a lot. So when we were talking, the first thing we always talked about is, why did we do this not for ourselves but for our teams? And that's where the first click happened. And the mindset was, he thinks the same way that I do. It's not only about me or myself. It's about everybody around us who we surround ourselves. So once you have that concept together, then you start expanding on what else. Because you always have to find something common. And that's, I think, what mattered with him was, it's not the name, it's not the ego, it's not the Chris Summers name for himself, it's a Summers team. Same thing was the condo shop.
That's true.
And when I met a few of his key people in his team as well, and one thing was very interesting. When I met Chris for the first time, he talked about, from his perspective, he was listening a lot on what he wanted to do, what was being offered as Keller Williams was offering to the company. And the very next moment he said, I'm going to bring 3 or 4 key people of my team, and we're going to have a very candid conversation. And as a businessman, I asked him, would you like me to refrain from saying anything that is not appropriate? He said, say everything you say to me behind a closed door. well, that's a man of integrity. And things like that expands when you're working with somebody, and then you not only want to have them in your life as working partners, but as working agents, but as a partner. You want to see how and where this partnership can go in the future. So Chris coming over, it wasn't a team coming over. There's a leader, an entrepreneur coming with the same value that he had in his previous ventures, coming in and now growing the expansion of how KW Philadlephia sees its vision in 2019 and beyond. So that's how I felt very comfortable with him, meeting him. And it happened too fast. And I think good things happen fast. There's no reason to wait when you feel there is a meeting of the minds. And that's what happened between us.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, so the things you're saying and the things that you mentioned now, I know Gaurav very well. I've known you very well for quite a while. And so as you bring these topics up, I recognize, it's just like when you're a matchmaker on TV and you're like, hey, these two are going to fit or these two aren't going to fit. And a lot of it is just like the foundation that you both laid is the foundation of Chris's the same as Gaurav's. And if it is, there's not really much to talk about. You guys are a match. Let's go. And the way Chris handled that, which is really interesting, which was I'm going to take 3 or 4 people and I want you to tell them everything. Now, what that's saying is he had an out. He had an out that you gave him to say, hey, look, if you don't want me to say something, I don't have to say anything. And Chris said, fully transparent. And the moment he did that, you go, great, we're speaking the same language, right? So you both nodded your head and go, we're doing that. And he had the moment to decide whether he wanted to truly involve his team, and he decided to do that at a very candid and transparent level. I didn't know that meeting had happened, but that's a great way to do it. So, but besides that, I think it's very important to have Chris in the real estate scene for many reasons. Not just obviously he's got a fantastic team and he's coming to Keller Williams, but he also has an inauguration for GPAR, which is a big deal coming up January 10th. So this video, Chris coming over to Keller Williams Philadelphia on the 1st or 2nd or whenever the official announcement is, and then the GPAR is the 10th. So right in between, people are going to see this. Now that is somebody taking a serious stance with like, I care about the industry. That's what that is. Like when somebody, you're not joining GPAR because you need a paycheck, right? You're joining GPAR because you go, I care, I want to make a change. The same reason that, and I had sat down and done a video with Alan Dom. He goes, I want to see change. I want to make change happen. And it's really important, I find, in our industry, whether you're an investor, whether you're buying, selling retail, to have people that do that. Because if you don't, you just don't have any direction in what you're doing. So talk about this. How did this come about? I just saw this on social media, so I'm very new to what this inauguration is for you and what you expect of it. And
well, I think this coming up year is going to be, critical in the real estate industry. And I mean, every year, it is critical. And, every year, the city is always struggling, with, where can we raise money? And the real estate, sector is the easy target in terms of, raising taxes, raising assessments, attacking the tax abatement, all sorts of things. So I think policy is going to be very, very key in terms of what happens with our market in years to come. And a long time ago, I think this, like I was blogging a lot, doing all sorts of things, maybe doing some wacky things, but we got noticed by GPAR and they kind of brought me in, maybe a little sneakily. Is that a word?
Sure.
As far as, hey, why don't you get on a committee? So I got on a committee, and then that just kind of progressed year in, year out, kind of just going up the ladder. I didn't really know exactly, the structure, but I think what I found was, is the more that I spent time there, the much higher appreciation and respect that I had for the staff, for the people doing the work behind the scenes, and for all the realtors and brokers, on the board of directors, spending their valuable time giving back. My parents asked me the other day, is that a paid position? Yeah. I'm like, no. So for me, it's an opportunity, to give back to the industry, to really help out, collaborate, with other, members, or line officers, that, are all different, real estate brokerages, because, this is a critical, aspect of, the market year in and year out. So I was a little nervous about the time constraints, and I gave actually Alan Dom a call. Yeah. Like 6 months ago, I was like, Alan, I'm not really sure if I could do this. I'm not Alan Dom, and I don't, my sale prices are a little bit lower, so I do like many transactions. Like, do I have the time? And Alan, kind of straight to the point was like, Chris, just do it. And I'm like, well, okay, well, if Alan could do it, if he had the time, well, maybe I could do it. So hopefully, I'll carry the torch. Joe Ray did a great job as president this past year. The past presidents prior to that, done an outstanding job. But it's going to be an important year, with a lot of upcoming elections and whatnot. Long answer to your question, but
no, I needed to know. I wanted to know. I was super curious. Like, you know, nothing else for the wrong person. That, you know, that's there's no loving reward on the other end of that. There's no giant paycheck. You're doing this to give back to the truly and help lead where we're going next, where all of our paychecks come from next. It's very important. So I'm glad you are the representative for that, because that could be the wrong person, and fortunately it's not. So
and very important to know, you know, as part of coming over to KW Philadelphia, KW Philadelphia has agreed to be, you know, one of the top sponsors for the inauguration. So basically, it's a self-funded, you know, event through sponsorships and ticket prices.
Okay.
You know, but you know, if you could still make it, valet parking, open bar, you know, tremendous, you know, food selection at Tendenza, January 10th, 6 to 9.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of realtors, investors watching this that if they want to sponsor you, Chris. I hope they do. I hope they reach out, realize that, you know, your future depends on what, you know, Chris doing this for free. So that's really, you know, what you do next it really does go a long way.
And one thing you have to remember as well, that not everybody is going to be willing to give the time to give back to community.
Right.
Sometimes we do, you can give back in different mysterious ways as well. Sometimes it's monetary value. That's the easiest thing to give back. And that goes a long way as well. You know, some people are able to give the time, some people will give their resources, some people will give the financial aspect to it. It all has to come together in different ways. You know, we do a lot of events that we have done, and it's the same thing there as well. But everyone, they get together, and some people have to come and appreciate all those things as well while you bring it all together. But hats off to Chris that with his development, you know, with his brokerage, with his team in a new house. Congratulations, beautiful place.
New house, everything.
Shout out to my wife, Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie. All right.
She's one of the amazing people that I've met.
Okay.
I'm getting to know her more and more. But you know, all those things combined, he's still giving back to the community, and talks very highly of you.
That's fantastic. So I also, and I don't mean to overshadow at all, specifically the Summers team here, but I do want to make mention that the Keller Williams Philadelphia brand, since you guys have come on, has really got some serious momentum. I mean, I'm sure you felt that when you know, everybody was feeling you guys out when you came on. You guys just hit it like a train. What are we expecting with Keller Williams Philadelphia and the Summers team going into 2019? Like, what do you guys think right now as we do this video? We just had a conversation prior to this. The market may or may not be, you know, what you want it to be today, but homes still have to be sold and investors still have to make money. So one, Chris is a fantastic person to have because he's been through a cycle. We had a conversation this on a prior webcam, and you understand what happens. Like you double down on your efforts when you feel like you shouldn't. But you know, what do you guys both together? I mean, between the two of you, there's so much real estate in this city done that everybody should pay attention to probably what you say next, honestly, on this camera. So what do you guys think is coming down the pipe in 2019, and how do you see heading into it?
Want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be happy to go first. Yeah, that there's opportunity in every market, you know, period. I remember, you know, back, and I think we spoke about this, Ian, you know, 2 years ago, you know, with the 2007 to 11 market, you know, no one was buying properties. I bought a lot. And because of that, you know, I'm sitting on, you know, some great assets right now and so forth. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, you know, being, you know, pro, you know, home ownership, there's always opportunity, number one. Number two, I do think there's tremendous stability and foundation in our local markets for a variety of reasons. You know, strong job base, I think that's going to continue. And our median sale price is very, very low in comparison to other cities. And some of these neighborhoods just continue to improve. You know, could there be like a mini correction, you know, some stability? Of course. Yeah, but I think within there, yeah, there's always opportunities for A, homeowners, B, investors, C, developers. It does get back to policy, you know, being important as things progress.
Sure.
You know, as far as, you know, kind of city council, you know, kind of continuing to not, you know, take away too much and maybe add some things that are more pro-growth, you know, for entrepreneurs, independent contractors, homeowners, you know, with pro real estate policies and so forth. But I'm always kind of like, you know, just work hard and do the best you can and double down, you know, where things make sense to do it. You know, back in those like little recession days, I recall Stephanie and I, you know, spending more money in marketing and advertising.
Saying that from the video. Yeah.
And yeah, whereas the competition, you know, started to pull back, and you know, sometimes, you know, realtors, you know, there's not as many as new realtors, you know, during those times, and you do kind of, you know, squeeze out maybe a little excess in any industry. If that happens again, it's all good. I think the people that, in our industry that work hard on a daily basis will continue to be very successful in, no matter what market, that we're in.
And from the brokerage perspective, that's from a team's perspective that we'll do as an agent. But from a brokerage perspective, we have to make a difference how the brokerage company has run in the city. I think we are surrounding ourselves and teaming up with some great, great teams and great people and entrepreneurs. Our concept is the same thing happened with the condo shop. Same thing happened with TCS Management. And then how we consider with Black Label or Rent Philly and now KW Philadlephia. The concept is first you build a great team. You surround yourself with the best of the best. And then you have a mastermind event amongst yourself to create the opportunity that has never been offered to anyone before. Brokerage companies, unfortunately, have always been run as a landlord-tenant relationship. I have something to offer, you have something to take, you pay me money, and I'm going to give this back in return. If it doesn't work out, bye-bye. That is not what we came in for. So that's why when you said about KW Philadlephia, how it has made an impact in the last 4 months, is because we came with a bang, with a mentality different than any other brokerage. And we had our meetings internally as well with different key people in the company. And as we're going along, we are continuing to put everybody's resources together, not only ours, but we're bringing everybody in the company who is our top 20%. We're creating a mastermind of opportunities that they have created for themselves, the resources that they have created, the sign company, the marketing company, advertisements. Our buying power is so much. We are close to about $700 million worth of sales in 2018. If that much volume can be done and we are staggered, imagine what will happen if we all came together. So that's the mentality that we are coming in with the new ownership and the new leadership. And with Chris coming in, there's a lot of developmental experience that he has, a lot of leadership experience from running brokerage companies and teams. And that is only going to continue adding as we go along. But I couldn't have been doing this without the support of a leadership team. And Chris coming in as a partner is a fantastic add-on to our vision in the future as well. And I'm super proud that we are here together.
Yeah, I think maybe to add, one element to that, I'm very, impressed and encouraged. I think, as Gaurav said, it's who you surround yourself and the people, that are there that can really help things take it to the next level and so forth. That KW Philadlephia has that in place, and I'm very excited to be a part of that. But as part of my kind of like search is hey, what's the best fit for our team? Is having the opportunity to go down to Austin, Texas, and meet with Gary Keller, real estate icon, in person.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. I got a selfie. I have to post that.
Okay.
But yeah, big picture, is from a macro standpoint, with, I don't even know the exact amount of money. You probably know. You have millions, of dollars, hundreds of millions, being reinvested back in technology. I think that kind of return, you have to have patience on the return, probably will be seen in the years to come, not, just with, KW Philadlephia, but kind of nationally too. And for me, kind of like trying to stay ahead of the curve year in and year out with video, social media, blogging, I'm really, really impressed by that. And I think over time, that is a big picture kind of aspect. Hey, how best can you support your agents? How best can you support the consumer and the client working with the agent, to have the best customer experience possible and to position oneself, from a marketing standpoint, high level across the board. So, again, kind of having the best of both worlds, local market share, great people, and secondly, with huge, infrastructure investment in technology, it really provides kind of like the best of all world opportunity. And
yeah, I would agree that, and I find that technology is going to be, and I know Keller Williams is huge in the technology sector. I mean, pushing for it. Technology is one of these things I find that, like, the moment you kind of turn off of it for like a year or two, you become obsolete. You're gone. Like, think about like people that, as we watch this through the computer age and the computer generation, that when there was, call it the late baby boomer generation that decided they weren't going to learn computers, they made themselves in a 5-year window not capable of turning on a computer and therefore obsolete in the work world. And it changed the whole dynamic of the job they could have. So if you don't embrace technology as either a company, an entire brokerage, whatever it may be, unfortunately, I'm not going to name any other brands in this video, but I know there's some brands that do not by any means keep up with the technology. unfortunately, they're going to be names where you're going to think in about 5 years, you're going to go, hey, remember that brokerage company, such and such and such? And they just didn't keep up with the technology. So the fact that you're embracing it, coming up on another cycle, because you saw it the first cycle and you realize, all right, first cycle, how do I beat this? I've got to get the technology right. I've got to get out in front of this and I got to double down. You're doing it again right now. And you said, all right, from a bigger macro perspective, I have to do the exact same thing. You're just doing it differently, but you're doing it from a bigger perspective. So I embrace technology or don't be in the work world. That's how I look at it. But guys, I am so excited that you guys, I'm glad you guys want to do this video with me. I really, I know both of you and I said, hey, this is a huge announcement. So that's fantastic. Is there anything you want to leave, the people that are going to watch this with? You guys are going to get quite a few phone calls after this, but anything you want people to know?
I'll go first.
Sure.
You can have a closing statement.
Go ahead. All right,
I think it's an honor being here as well. And I really appreciate you speaking the time. And we're very excited. The future of 2019 for our team, for myself, and for KW Philadelphia is amazing. I think because we are part of Keller Williams, I've seen what KW has done for me and for people around. It's a testament that last a year and a half ago, I made this jump. I was very nervous, and seeing other great players making the same move, and now Chris coming in making the same opportunity for himself and his team as well. I'm very, very confident that we're in the right direction. There are a lot of shiny objects that people can see around, but time will tell. When technology gets built from the infrastructure in-house, that's what the real value is. You can't buy something off the shelf. And that's what I'm proud of. You asked for a number. Gary Keller Keller Williams is a privately held company, and is spending about $50 million a year commitment for the next 20 years. That's $1 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Being in technology. Keller Williams is a company that changed their name from being a real estate company to a technology company. Not the name, but they said we are a technology company, not a real estate company.
I love that.
I think that changes the whole mindset. You know how Apple changed their whole concept as well, and the same thing. They see where they're going, where their effort is, and we're specializing in real estate. I said that from my perspective. I had said that for the longest period of time. I am a marketing company specializing in real estate, but I need technology as well. And now I'm surrounding myself with a technology company. I'm the marketing local person, and we are specializing in real estate. So that's where I see the future. Technology is going to be a big for our careers, and people who are not embracing technology, I can't tell you how sad I feel that you're not seeing the future. So whatever form technology is, it has to be KW or not, it doesn't matter. But make sure that you embrace technology. Life is going to change in 2019.
And fast.
And real estate is going to be done in a different way than we have ever experienced before. But if anybody wants to reach me as well, Gaurav at kwphiladelphia.com, Gaurav. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have, and I'm here to help in any way.
Thanks, G. Chris, what do you got to say to everybody?
Well, hey, I'm pumped up. I'm excited for 2019 and beyond. I'm very grateful that we got to meet. So, from there, things happen pretty quickly. And Ian, thank you for doing this video. I know you're very well known in this sector, so cheers. But as mentioned before, it was very important, for me not to make a Chris Summers decision, but more of a team decision. So I think that's kind of the buzzword that's been the buzzword that will kind of continue in the future. Is collaboration and partnerships. And when you have great people working together, that can just help elevate things that much more. So I'm just really excited to kind of be part of something where there's fantastic people involved. I'm also excited about the GPAR opportunity that you mentioned, and just working hard to stay ahead of the curve. I always believe this too, though. I mean, technology is critical. It's imperative. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to that customer experience with the relationships and the high level representation that the agents have with the clientele. The technology 100% adds to that customer experience and the relationship, but ultimately, it's being there, being able to communicate, being able to sometimes motivate, and whoever that client is. It could be a developer, investor, your first time home buyer, a seller selling their first home, to be there and walking them, through that transaction, getting them to settlement. That at the end of the day, is ultimately what it's all about. And then it just kind of adds from there. So, long story, I can kind of continue with that, but I'm just excited to kind of, whatever the word is, getting back to basics and being innovative at the same time, I think is a nice combination to keep that momentum going. And as Gaurav said, there is going to be a lot of changes. I think, too, Ian, this real estate industry constantly changing. In 5 years from now, we can kind of look back maybe from a macro standpoint, but in our Philadelphia local market, I wouldn't be surprised, that there's a vast change than what we see today. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that positive change and doing great work for great people on a daily basis.
I love it. So if people, well, two things. One, if they want to become part of the Summers team or meet with you, or if they want to sponsor your inauguration, which would be awesome, how would they contact you?
I'm pretty easy to get in contact with. Yeah, you could Google Chris Summers, but social media, whether it's a Facebook or email, or just go to thesummersteam.com, TheSummersteam.com. Phone, email, text, Facebook message, Instagram, direct message on Twitter, fill in the blank. I'm there all the time. So people want to contact me, feel free to reach out. Happy to talk about any of these things, in more depth and detail.
Perfect. And everybody knows me, hopefully, that's watched this video, Ian at hardmoneybankers.com. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
2019 is going to be pretty good.
Pumped up.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.